Hello everyone, I'm Karl Hildebrandt, founder and chairperson of PWR Project, a registered non-profit organisation that aims to eliminate bullying and discrimination amongst the South African youth through education. During my primary school years, I felt isolated from the rest of my classmates. I found it difficult to relate to the males in my class and didn't enjoy playing sports and talking about things that they had an interest in. As I got older, because of having many sisters, I found it easier to relate to the females in my class. Throughout this time, I was constantly reminded that I was different. I often felt like I had no worth and I didn't want friends in my life. Going through puberty, I was a very insecure person and constantly questioned how that which I was taught was wrong could be such a strong feeling within. I hated the thought of me being gay would turn many of my family and people around me against me. This thought was constantly holding me back, with a constant reminder of how I was taught that this was so wrong, weakening my self-esteem even more. After losing an important role model and established person in my life, I was sent for counseling. Through this, I came to terms with who I was. I was able to accept me as myself because I was taught that I could be the only person responsible for my own happiness. Throughout my final year of school, I had constant thoughts of what I was going to do to make a difference in people's lives. Going through what I did, I always had time for people and always made the time to understand people. I had a love for photography from a young age. I followed a few campaigns that used photography to depict their message. I saw how people could express their support for a specific topic by getting photographed. I loved this idea. The conceptualization of how colored powder, when thrown in the air, could promote freedom and expression of one's being became trapped in my mind. I knew I wanted to use my photography to promote an issue through photographing people throwing colored powder in the air, but I still had no idea what this cause would be. I kept this idea on hold. I moved out of the house and started my first year at university. I was exposed to more topics which throughout my school year I was taught was wrong. These exposures led me to become more open-minded. It allowed me to accept people as humans regardless of how they identified. I took a step out of religion and noticed how religion promotes certain ideals of how one should be, when in actual fact my expectation of religion was to spread love, acceptance and understanding. I left my studies in the hopes that during my free time of working, I could conceptualize my idea more and possibly register it as a non-profit organization. The year went by and I barely had time to conceptualize anything further. 2015 began and I had lots of free time on my hands. I finally knew that the freedom and expression that would be depicted in these photographs for this cause would be that of education. Education that we as humans are all different and unique. That we as humans shouldn't rely on others to define who we are. I wanted this cause to promote diversity and empower the youth. I linked that the lack of education around certain topics allowed people with less understanding to bully others. This is where I concluded that the organization's name would be PWR Project. Power in PWR Project could be an acronym for people with rights or people with responsibilities. It could also be a short version of the word power, because I want this project to give people power to be who they are and accept others no matter how different they may be. I urge you as people who can make a difference to take a stand with PWR Project. The photographs do cost a small fee, but this fee goes back into the organization as fundraising. PWR Project gives you the opportunity to show acceptance. It gives you the opportunity to share your story and possibly help one other person to not feel alone. I look forward to working with you and supporting you in sharing your story of support.